Am I the a-hole for abandoning my grandson and expecting to be paid back? I, 54 female, have 2 daughters, 30 and 25. My eldest had a son 2 years ago. She was married, but during her pregnancy, she had complications that stopped her from being able to have sex, and her husband, whom I never liked, cheated. So she filed for divorce and child support. He signed his rights away but still has to pay child support, but his payments are small and sporadic. Due to her condition, she wasn't able to work while pregnant, and originally she quit because they decided she would be a stay-at-home mom. While divorcing, she came to stay with me, and I provided everything the baby needed despite being low income. My husband died 7 years ago from cancer, which took all savings, and left me with nothing but our house and my car, both paid off thankfully. Before anyone can ask, it was a planned pregnancy. In their divorce, she was given the house and half their savings, which she used towards the mortgage, which had 15 years. But the savings knocked it down to 8, and after a pregnancy, she got a job and has been paying it off. I have been providing free babysitting weekday afternoons, and all day/night on weekends as she needs or wants. Fast forward to now, my 25-year-old is 6 months pregnant. This was a bad situation. She is in therapy because it was an SA, but she didn't want to terminate or do adoption, and I support her decision. She rents and works, but it's just her. She was focused on her career and hasn't dated since early college. I'm still very low income, more so now with the rising costs, and can't help my youngest like I helped my eldest. I asked my eldest to donate the old baby things I bought: crib, bath, bouncers, walkers. All the stuff her son no longer needs. She is refusing, saying that her sister is irresponsible and she doesn't have to help her clean up her mess. She thinks her sister should have terminated or go for adoption, and that she shouldn't be trying to raise a child on her own because she's too young and can't even make room for a relationship, let alone a child. I don't agree with her at all, and am quite appalled by her behavior. In the end, I told her that if she's so much more responsible than her sister, then she can pay me back for all I provided her, and she can find a new babysitter because I won't do it anymore. She says I'm an a-hole for abandoning my grandson, and it's my job as her mom to help her, so she shouldn't have to pay back anything. She also said it's not her problem that I'm too broke to help her sister like I did her. I'm not abandoning my grandson, I just won't babysit anymore. Mainly because I'm going to get a second job to help my younger daughter. So, am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. I'm sorry to say your oldest is the a-hole. Such hypocritical entitlement. I don't even understand it. When she lived with me, her ex trashed the house, and when she moved back in, my youngest went over and cleaned it all up. Her sister also paid her light bill for 2 months, so she could save a small cushion for emergencies, since all the savings ended up going towards the house. Just because you are the grandmother does not mean that you owe your daughter to keep her kid. She can put him in daycare or find someone to keep him. You are doing the right thing trying to help your youngest daughter. Don't be guilted, bullied, gaslit, or manipulated by your daughter or any of the screeching flying family monkeys into babysitting her son. She does not deserve your kindness. You are not abandoning your grandson. Your daughter is selfish and entitled. Take care of yourself and your youngest daughter. You wouldn't be too broke to help your youngest. If your oldest hadn't received all the support you provided, I'd personally be more rational and make your oldest face her hypocrisy and facts. You can't provide child care for a kid anymore because you need to work. Being low income and all, it would be greatly appreciated to return the baby items, as she won't be needing them anymore, considering she is so responsible that she plans pregnancies for when she can provide for them 100% by herself and not needing your handouts. The audacity to call her sister irresponsible for being SA'd is through the roof. Why didn't she terminate her planned pregnancy when she couldn't do it alone and needed your help? Not the a-hole. You're not abandoning your grandchild. His mother is making it impossible to be there for him and his cousin at the same time. I agree. I definitely could have helped my youngest if I hadn't my oldest. I'm not sure why she's saying she's irresponsible, but I really hope it's nothing to do with the SA part, because my youngest cannot help that at all. It's not her fault by any means. It was one of those freak random break-ins that we see in the news from time to time. Even if she had been hanging out with a man or something else, that doesn't make it her fault. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my sister back the child I've raised as my own? I, 35 female, have been married to my husband, 38 male, for almost 10 years. For most of that time, our marriage felt like it was missing something. We tried for years to have a child, went through countless tests and doctor visits, and faced heartbreak after heartbreak as every attempt failed. It took a toll on us both emotionally and mentally, and there were moments when we wondered if we'd ever get to be parents. Then a few years ago, something unexpected happened. My younger sister got pregnant by a man who completely disappeared as soon as he found out. She was terrified and admitted she wasn't ready to be a mother. She came to us asking if we could shoulder all her hospital bills and take the baby in. My husband and I had a long talk, and despite knowing how big of a responsibility it would be, we both agreed. We paid for everything: prenatal care, the delivery, and every expense that came after, and we registered the baby under our last name. From the day he was born, we raised him as our son. We loved him with everything we had and treated him as our firstborn. We never hid the truth from him. We gently told him that biologically, his mom is my sister, but he never seemed to care. To him, we are mom and dad, and he has always been happy and secure in our home. Years later, after what felt like a lifetime of waiting, my husband and I were blessed with a biological child of our own. Our daughter is now 4 years old, and she completed our family in a way we had always dreamed of. We were beyond grateful for this blessing. But ever since our daughter was born, my sister has been making comments that she wants to take her child back, claiming that since we already have our own, she should get to raise her son now. At first, I thought she was joking or just making emotional remarks, but she has brought it up repeatedly, and it's becoming clear that she's serious. This feels so deeply unfair to me. I have never kept her from visiting him. She has always been welcome in our home, but she has never shown much gratitude for what we did for her. Now she feels entitled to just take him away, as if the 8 years we have spent loving, raising, and providing for him mean nothing. I can't imagine giving him up. He is my son in every way that counts. His first steps, first words, school milestones, bedtime stories. Those moments were ours. He calls us mom and dad. We are the only parents he has ever known. Would I be the a-hole if I fought to keep him with us and refused to hand him over to my sister? Edit/info. My son is 8 years old now, and my daughter is 4. The child is legally ours. We have a signed agreement from my sister, and we are listed as the legal parents on his birth certificate. I believe that should be enough proof to challenge her claim, but I'm terrified this will turn into a family war. Now for the top comments. Info. Did you legally adopt him? Tell sister a child is not a possession. She should be doing what's best for him. And best for him is not uprooting his entire life. Yes, we adopted him legally. She even signed the papers because she didn't want to raise the child on her own. Then she has no leg to stand on. However, she might go crazy on you. I wouldn't leave her with a kid unsupervised. Who knows what wild stories she might tell. Not the a-hole. How unfair to your son to uproot his entire life. I would feel legal advice here. Is your sister stable, emotionally and financially? What an awful, selfish thing to do too. Yes, she was struggling emotionally and financially. That's why we took all the bills and everything. Absolutely not the a-hole. Your son may be cognizant of who his biological egg donor is, but you are his mother in every sense and purpose, and have been since his birth. I hugely doubt that any authority or medical/psychological professional would ever sign off on your sister regaining parental rights or custody, unless there was any evidence of abuse. Keep fighting for your child and children. He's not a toy to be shared or taken back. Thank you. We've been his parents in every way that counts, and we'll keep fighting to protect him. Please don't stress over something in which you kindly stepped up and helped your sister, and in the meantime, you were blessed with a baby that stole your and your husband's hearts. At the same time, you ticked all the boxes necessary to legally be recognized as the child's parents. Of course, you are not the a-hole. However, your sister most definitely is. Dismiss your sister's nonsense and continue to stay present for your loving family. Next story. Am I the a-hole for removing my sister-in-law from the family Spotify plan? I got married a couple weeks ago, and we're in the process of merging our finances. This includes going through all of our subscriptions to reduce redundancy and sync our bills. In doing so, we realized that my husband's brother's ex-wife is still on his family Spotify plan. Because she is, we can't add me. My husband started the family plan about 6 years ago for himself and his 2 older brothers. It allows him to have 4 separate accounts in the plan, and the cost per account is lower than paying for them individually. When the plan was created, each brother got an account, and the last account went to the middle brother's wife. The plan is under my husband's name, so he is the admin. He gets billed annually, and the others reimburse him for their share. At the time, this made perfect sense. They all saved some money. The middle brother was the only one with a spouse, and although my husband and I had been together for about a year at the time, I was about to start grad school, so I could still get the student pricing and thus had no reason to join the plan. Now, it makes less sense. I'm out of school, we're married, and the middle brother got divorced about a year and a half ago. We can easily afford to keep my separate Spotify. But we also realized the ex never paid my husband back when the plan renewed this year, so we agreed it made more sense to remove her and add me in order to simplify our subscriptions. So that's exactly what my husband did. He deactivated her, joined my Spotify to the plan, and texted his middle brother to let the ex know. We didn't text her directly because she became extremely volatile during their divorce, so the brother asked our whole family not to contact her directly, so all communication could flow through a specific moderated messaging app that their lawyers recommended. This has caused a family conflict. The middle brother is mad at us because he feels like we're forcing him to have another fight with his ex just so we could save a buck. It's true that she will definitely be set off by this. Plus, he feels like she deserves to stay on the plan because they were together for a long time, aka longer than my husband and I. We can definitely see how it sucks for him to have to reach out to his ex and inevitably piss her off. On the other hand, the oldest brother agrees with us. She can't stay on their family plan forever just to avoid a conflict. It's healthier to sever these last ties. She chose to leave the family. Divorce was her call, so she gave up any family-related benefits, and there are logical reasons for me to join the plan now. So, internet strangers, am I the a-hole for asking to join my husband's family Spotify plan and thereby forcing his brother to have a conflict with his ex? Now for the top comments. And texted his middle brother to let the ex know. I don't think it is necessary that middle brother lets her know. She is bound to notice the next time she tries to use Spotify and will either just accept that she is not part of that family anymore, by her own choice, or will reach out from her side to bitch about it, in which case middle brother has the same fight as he is fearing for when he reaches out to let her know. And if she complains about it, the answer to, "Why did you remove me?" should simply be, "You didn't pay for it at the last renewal, so we assumed you don't want to be on it anymore." And who knows, maybe she is not even actively using it currently, and not paying for it was actually her way of saying, "I'm not part of this deal anymore." Not the a-hole. This is the way. She didn't hold up her financial end, so she's dropped. That's all middle brother has to say when and if she contacts him or anyone in the family. She's not entitled to a heads up. In real life, you don't pay your bill, service stops. Even if she did pay last year, there is no reason she shouldn't be dropped now. She isn't part of the family anymore, and she handled the divorce badly enough that a messaging app had to be implemented. To continue to let her save money at the expense of an actual family member would be rewarding bad behavior. I agree. The reasons OP has for replacing her on the plan is perfectly valid without the payment issue, but the lack of payment just makes it all so much easier, as they don't have to have a conversation with her about either honoring the deal until the end of the payment period or giving her a portion of the money back. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to buy my girlfriend's brother NBA 2K26 after I already got him a PS5? So, my girlfriend's little brother turned 16 a few months ago, and I really wanted to do something special for him. He's a good kid. I get along with him well, and my girlfriend's family has always been really kind to me. So, I went big and bought him a PlayStation 5 for his birthday. It wasn't cheap, around $500, but I figured it was a milestone birthday, and he was over the moon about it. The whole family thought it was amazing and kept telling me how generous I was. Fast forward to now, NBA 2K26 just came out. Out of nowhere, I start getting texts from her brother about how he needs the new game so he can play online with his friends. My girlfriend also started dropping little hints, like casually mentioning how it would be nice if he had it or that it would mean a lot if I surprised him with it. Honestly, I was caught off guard. I already spent a pretty big chunk of money on the console, and now they seem to expect me to keep buying him games whenever something new comes out? It's not like I have unlimited funds. I'm still budgeting around that PS5 purchase. Plus, $70 for a game isn't exactly pocket change, especially if this turns into a regular thing. I told my girlfriend that I thought her brother could save his allowance, ask for the game for Christmas, or maybe even do some odd jobs to earn the money. She got quiet and then told me I was being weirdly stingy, considering how generous I was before. That honestly rubbed me the wrong way. Just because I splurged once doesn't mean I signed up to be the permanent provider for every game release. It's not that I don't like her brother, because I do. I just feel like if I buy this game, I'll be setting a precedent where every time a new title drops, I'm expected to foot the bill. And it's not like I'm his parent. Shouldn't this kind of thing come from his own savings or his family? So Reddit, am I the a-hole for drawing the line at game purchases after buying him the PS5? Or am I being unfair since I already went big with the console? Run. This, stop, catch your breath, then proceed back to running. Maybe take back the $500 console and just give him a $70 game. That is actually way more freaking hilarious than just taking the PS5 back that I thought he should do. A waste of $70, but God, it would be so funny to just walk out PS5 underarm and never talk to that family again. He can't take the PS5 back. It belongs to the kid now, and OP has no more right to take it than anybody else. What OP does have the right to do is get far from this family of mooches. Now they figure he has money, they will never let up. Not the a-hole. It's clear her and her family see you as an ATM. Why do they think they're entitled to your money? They should be extremely grateful, yet they're clearly freeloaders.